Over the last decade, game art as a legitimate college degree has exploded in popularity. There are so many options, it's hard to know which one to choose. There's traditional college degrees, there's online classes, there's game art, but also computer animation is a degree. There's website subscriptions, downloadable courses, books, podcasts, and of course, YouTube. All this has people asking, which path should I choose? Do I even need a degree? If this is you, please join me on this episode of Ask a Game Artist as we take an in-depth look at what myself and others look for when hiring art talent. Welcome to episode 2 of Ask a Game Artist. Let's first talk about what the employer is looking for. I talked a little bit about this in my last video. Most employers don't really care if you have a master's or 4-year degree. So what you want to be looking for is what is going to be the best way for me to learn. Don't worry about degrees or anything because the industry does not really care about them. A lot of people will say, oh yeah, the degree does matter, but in the end, they're still just going to pick the person that has the best work. I guarantee you. So which path should you choose? If you live and breathe art in animation, the traditional college path will probably be just fine for you. If you are wavering whatsoever on whether you want to do it, I would suggest not going into tens of thousands of dollars in debt before you decide to do this. Go online, get some tutorials, get some free software, because in school you're going to be doing this 40 to 60 hours every single week, sometimes 7 days a week. My worst week during school was a 100-hour week. It's the only way to get the classwork and learn as much as you need to learn and done in time. If you're going out on your own online, it's a little bit different. You go at your own pace, but that has its own set of challenges, and I'll go into that just a little bit. I'd say on average about 10% of people end up using their degree, which is unfortunate, but very true. If you're currently going to school, that should scare you a little bit, but just have that expectation that it might take a little bit out of school to learn enough to get good enough to get a job. It's very normal. There's a lot of people in the same boat trying to get a job and it's just not coming. Don't just sit idle and send your reel out. Keep working on it because chances are you're going to need to replace most of the work that you have graduated with. And that's just kind of the reality of things. The current competitive nature of just everybody trying to get in this small industry with lots of people graduating. You don't have to be incredibly gifted, you just have to be incredibly dedicated. That's the most important part. As for which school you should choose, if I were to go back and do everything again, I would probably choose Ringling School of Art and Design. You don't even touch a computer for the first year. You're just learning how to draw. And it shows that they get that the most important part is creating, not learning how to push buttons in the technical part. The technical part you can pick up pretty quick. Anyone can do it eventually. The artistic part, the creative part, is something that not everybody has, and they try to hone that in and really teach people that. And if that's not something you want to do, if you just want to get to the computer side of things, you're going to be pretty disappointed because the creative side is actually the most important and hardest part of the entire job. Another school I really like is Gnomon. They will not even accept you if they believe that your work, current work, is not good enough. If you haven't put any work into doing this, they won't let someone just come in cold feet, not even knowing what's going on. They want to make sure that your art creative level, again, that your creativity is at least a baseline level to learn. It makes sure that they have a nice quality control, and that's why I really like Gnomon. I really like Ringling. If you're going for any of those two schools, I think you'll be in good hands. The second option for education is online schools. Online schools are kind of a mixed bag. Most of them are not great. It's just part-time. It's very small amount of time to learn this stuff. In 4 years at 10 hours a week is not enough. You would have to do at least 6, 7, 8 years to really, at that pace, to really get it. Just, you don't have that one-on-one time, you don't have that communication, you don't have your peers around you A lot of times when I went to school, you'd be in lab and you just have a problem. You get up and ask somebody about it, and somebody else had fixed it already, and they show you and they fix it. When you're online, those problems happen and there's just nobody there, or it takes them a full day to get back to, or even more. So it's a little bit different environment. You're going to get stuck a lot more. It's a lot slower pace. I would definitely not expect a job at the end of an online degree. You're probably going to have to put in some more work on your own, maybe online for free, just going on YouTube, tutorials, just keep working, that's fine. Just go into it knowing that unless you're spending 40 hours or more a week, it's really going to be tough to get a job, to get good enough to get a job right out of the program. Not to say that all online programs are bad. There are a few that I would recommend. I like Animation Mentor, Anim School, and iAnimate. Those are all just animation schools, so if you want to do something like modeling, Gnomon I know does offer an online course for modeling, but you have to live in California based on their, it's just a law that you have to live there because of the accreditation and everything, but you don't actually get an official college credit at the end of an online Gnomon. But as I said before, this will not be a problem in the industry. I would not even think about it. I would just, focus on going to the best school possible, not if there's accreditation or not. So if you think you need more structure and a little bit of push, but you still really want to do it, I probably wouldn't just go the online course route. At least you can start that way and see how it works, and then try to go into a program if you want. It's probably going to take you longer to learn what you need to learn if you go this route, a lot longer, because when you're in school you are pushing hard and you are just going hard at it every week, every day, and when you're just going online and you're kind of working a side job, that's just not going to happen. It's just not possible. So it's at least going to take you, I'd say, at least 6 years minimum if you're going to go the route of just teaching yourself. So just be aware of that and kind of have that expectation that that's how it's going to be. Unless you're just incredibly gifted somehow. I know there's probably some people that could do it in less than 6 years. It'll take a while, but you won't be in debt, so it's great. As far as online resources go for learning, I recommend, obviously, Sterling Animation. But I'm a little bit early in my development. As of the recording of this video, I don't have a ton of tutorials right now. I'm just really getting started. So a lot of people recommend Udemy. You just kind of go on and you just buy a bunch of hours of courses and you just start watching them. You're not going to get any help like that, personal help, but you can always go on to forums like CG Society. And then, again, there's lots of places you can search for this stuff. I'm probably going to throw out some links in my video below just to get people started if they decide that the online direction is where they want to go. I just have to kind of search a little bit myself, a little bit more on like the best places to go. And then you have places that you can subscribe to, like Skillshare, and those places are still kind of starting. It's kind of like a Netflix subscription. I still don't know if there is good enough content on there to really get at it and learn all of it. There is a bit, so you can start there for sure. And then there's also books, traditional medium books. I really like books in general just because, I don't know, there's something about it when you're flipping through the pages and you're just reading it and it's just all right there and you're not having to stare at a computer screen for once. I feel like I'm spending all my life staring at a computer screen, so it's nice to look away. And then there's like podcasts and stuff, which are probably more like advice things like this. Thank you for joining me on this video. I really appreciate all the support I've gotten so far. I'm going to keep going with these. And again, please ask below if there's anything that you want to see answered in the next video, or just if you have any questions at all, I'm going to comment and answer them for you. Thank you for your support. Every little bit helps. I will see you guys all in the next video. Take it easy.